Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Layer 2 show. Today, we're talking to David, who is one of the organizers of LisCon. So what we'll be talking about is about all the events and the hype of crypto in Lisbon and Portugal in general. As you might know, there was at least 5 conferences going on, starting from the DAOist, the LisCon, was Cosmos events, NEARCon, Solana, everything. So I really wanted to catch up with David after the 3 or even more weeks of marathons of crypto events. Congratulate on the well-organized LisCon and yeah, just to share some insights. Hello, David.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
You're very welcome. So please, what are your first impressions of how everything went?
I think it's went well. I guess I'll say right now, I think I had my last crypto event last night. So it's been like quite the month. A lot of cities have had blockchain weeks. I don't know if there's been a city that's had like a blockchain month before. So it's been an amazing month. It's been so many great events, so many great people. I'm a little worn out after all of it, but still very, very happy that it all came together and all happened.
Very nice. Yes, I'm also sharing the experience. Very happy for this, especially after, the last year was not the same conference-wise, and now really with everybody from crypto community all over the world coming to Lisbon. So how did the idea start to organize actually LisCon? Who was the first one to start a wave of the crypto event?
Well, so the idea for LisCon, or we were calling it ETHLisbon back then, actually started back in 2019. We had a Telegram group with just a bunch of people in the Ethereum community, and we were all very excited about Lisbon and Portugal, and thought it'd be a great place for the next event. At that time, this was before COVID. Having Ethereum conferences and hackathons they were happening every month or so. So we started organizing it. We were planning on doing it, I think, May 2020, which of course, nothing ended up happening May 2020. But the plan kind of got revived earlier this year. On our end, me and some of my friends are working on a project called Off-Chain City, which is doing kind of some funds and DAOs focused on Portuguese real estate. So through that whole thing, we were saying, yeah, it'd be great if we could throw an event and bring a lot of people, show them how amazing Portugal is, get them excited about the city. In parallel, some of our other friends were also working on organizing ETHLisbon, the hackathon. So, when we kind of realized we were both working on similar events, we got together and said, okay, first of all, let's sort out the name. So we decided to change our name to LisCon instead of ETHLisbon, and they would stick with ETHLisbon and make sure the dates didn't overlap and make sure we had 2 very complementary events, which I think they were. And I guess the other kind of important thing around the planning of this event was ETHCC. So ETHCC, I'm not sure if you were there or not, but that was I feel like the first big Ethereum event since COVID. So that was in July this summer. And I went there. It was so great to finally be back with everybody in person again, to see all my crypto friends that I hadn't seen, in over a year. And so much had happened in that time. So to kind of try to catch up on, where the space is in general we've got DeFi and NFTs and DAOs and so many amazing things now. So when I was there, I saw there was such an amazing energy, so much excitement. And I was like, there's so much demand for these events. People have really been missing these. So I figured Lisbon, was very, there's a lot of people moving to Lisbon. There's a lot of excitement about Lisbon in general and excitement about events. So it's the perfect time to organize something in Lisbon. So we had about 2 months, from when we kind of decided to do it to actually plan it. So it was a short time frame, but seems to have come together.
It was amazing. Everything was perfectly put together, and feedback from everybody was absolutely astonishing and great for the community. It was organized by the community, and the community gathered. So it was really a very warm feeling in general, and obviously so many great ideas. And as we were saying, DAOs, NFTs, metaverse, gaming, all of these things are floating in the media, in Twitter and Discord, etc. And we'll consolidate this to the speeches and to private meetings. It really, you can put a bit of a picture of where the trends are going. So I wanted to ask you, what were your main trends? What do you think things are going? What I picked up was definitely a multi-chain ecosystem. So there were other protocols that were participating during this month of the event. So not only Ethereum, there was NEARCon, and people were speaking very highly about Near, Cosmos, and Solana, obviously through a big event. So it really made me pay more attention to other ecosystems and other communities. Metaverse, obviously very big topic. Also attended Web Summit, where it was huge. And gamify, maybe this would be my takeaway. How about yourself?
I mean, the biggest takeaway, which you kind of alluded to there, is there's not just like one crypto space anymore. It's grown so large. You can't really focus on crypto. You have to pick, am I going to focus on DeFi? Am I going to focus on NFTs, DAOs? Do I want to focus on more like protocol layer type stuff? So there's just so much happening right now. So a few different things across all things. I guess NFTs is the biggest kind of growth that we've seen since before. NFTs were, they've been around, but you would go to kind of pre-COVID crypto events and there wasn't a lot of talk about them. It was a technology people were aware of, but this is now a major part of the space. So at LisCon, we had some really interesting artists, some really interesting panels with a number of artists. We had some cool high profile people like People Pleaser come and things like that. So for me also, this is like an area that I'm a little less deep in. It feels like a very new space to me, someplace that I really need to put the time in to kind of understand it, because I'm a developer, but NFTs are really different. NFTs are culture, they're art, they're communities. And so, yeah, there's some new ideas. And so it's great to see kind of all this new excitement, new energy. And one kind of parallel or a related topic that I was seeing a lot of is gaming. And I noticed this, especially at the Solana event, Solana conference, which was this week. It seems like gaming and crypto is really kind of starting to take off. I met a lot of game developers. It seems like there's a lot of very early stage projects that are looking into gaming and blockchain, crypto, NFTs. But out of all the early stage stuff, that there's going to be some big successes. So that was really cool. And I guess in general, seeing, as you mentioned, there was more than the Ethereum events. There was NEARCon, there was Cosmos, Solana. Seeing that the ecosystem of these other layer ones is really growing as well. So it's not just Ethereum is still kind of the I think the most dominant smart contract platform, but it's no longer just Ethereum's game. There's a lot of different projects, and they're, I think, going to each evolve in different ways.
Yes, and this definitely a very, very exciting space to be in crypto right now. And it's great to see people wanting to get into space even more and more. One of the interesting facts was that people flew in just to be near the conferences, because I think majority of people did not have tickets to LisCon or access to Ethereum hackathons and also Solana. So they just wanted to be near to all the other people. And obviously side events were also great. We did not mention any side events yet during our discussion, but I remember all this huge Google Sheets floating around, and when you had 10 amazing events to attend in one night, you had to register, everything was already sold out. So quite interesting environment actually in Lisbon.
Yeah, it was great. As you mentioned, for LisCon, the tickets it was quite hard to get a ticket. And when we released tickets, they sold out in seconds. I think the first one sold out in about 60 seconds. Second one, maybe even less. So I felt really bad for all the people who were really excited to come and couldn't get tickets. But what I told them is, there's going to be so much great stuff happening around Lisbon. Just come anyways. The venue where we did LisCon was at LX Factory. And anyone who was there knows it's a very cool space that has all these bars and restaurants. And so everybody was just hanging out both inside at the talks and the booths, but also in the restaurants and bars outside. So I said, just come down to LX Factory, hang out, you'll meet some cool people there. And so there were so many great side events. I think my favorite side event, I'm sure not the only one, was Rave. So this is, the Aave team has been throwing parties kind of around large crypto events. And this one I think was really amazing. It was in the jungle. There was you had to walk through all these trees and plants, and they had like animal noises, and then they just had an amazing DJ and just a great energy there. So that was my favorite side event, but there was so many.
It's a great bonding for people to dance together. It's really
Absolutely. It was, again, I think everyone was a little tired. That was at the end of like the first week, like the LisCon ETHLisbon week. But you know, I had to push through. I was like, there's no way I'm missing this.
no, definitely, definitely. Great. So shall we expect LisCon next year?
I hope so. You know, we haven't put a lot of thought into it, saying 1 year is a long way away, but I think I certainly hope it happens, and I'd be happy to work again on organizing it. We've kind of kept some of the things we had printed, and we have a little bit of a budget and stuff. So we're certainly like at that level planning on next year, but there hasn't been any serious planning. But you know, I think Portugal is only going to be growing as a crypto space, so of course it makes sense to keep doing great events here.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how much promotion we should mention here, but for people who are not aware of Portugal, it's a very favorable, let's say, stance towards crypto people, and Portugal is encouraging and inviting all the crypto people to the country. So check it out, and obviously the sun is amazing here. Definitely worth spending some time.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, there's been so many people moving here, you know, before all these events, and I can only imagine, you know, how many more people we're going to start seeing hanging around. As you mentioned, a lot of people are moving here for kind of the tax benefits, which is, you know, I'd say, just as for anyone curious about that, it's not that they're explicitly tax favorable. It's more that the crypto doesn't, you know, kind of happens to fit into their tax framework in a very favorable way. So of course that's subject to change. But you know, one of the events we had this week was a friend of mine has a organization based in Lisbon called the New Economy, and they held an event where we had members of the Portuguese Parliament and other Portuguese politicians give them our pitch for the future of finance and blockchain technology and how that fits into Portugal. And so it seems like there is some good energy in kind of working with politicians. Some of the Portuguese politicians are open to, you know, this amazing stuff that we're building and making sure that Portugal remains a really favorable place to build it. So fingers crossed it kind of stays favorable and can keep attracting like amazing people to come here.
Definitely agree. I think intention and understanding are two key very important things. And if there is a will to do that, then the community will gather, and then all the amazing stuff will flourish from the efforts of the community. I saw that somebody picked up the idea of LisCon, and they're organizing ETH Barcelona. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, there's been, I think, a few different events, you know, in the same way that we were a little bit inspired by ETHCC. I think a number of people were inspired by LisCon and ETHLisbon. So Barcelona seems like that's the one that's kind of has the most energy behind it, and looks like that'll be in a few months. I would love to go there. I also talked to a few people who are interested in doing something in Warsaw, even one person who was interested in organizing something in Kiev. So I think, you know, the conferences and hackathons, they're back. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of them. So hopefully we don't get too many and we get all kind of burned out. We still need to take some time to focus on work, but it's great that this energy is coming back and we're seeing everybody in real life again.
Yes, exactly. Now everybody needs some computer time to follow up, catch up, and this reading as well and relaxing. But it was great. I really want to thank you. Our community wants to thank, and many other people, I'm sure that attended, want to thank you for taking this initiative and making all of this happen.
Thanks so much. It's always worth it just to see everybody come together, have a great time. It's worth all the effort we put in. So thank you.
Great. So look forward to the next events and look forward to LisCon 2022.
Me too. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, David. Nice talking to you.